In Feb 2019, Indigo cancelled over 130 flights due to pilot shortage. The same data is corroborated by the statistics provided by the Government of India, wherein the number of pilot vacancies which were put out every year is slightly more than the actual number of pilots produced by our country. It means that the pilot shortage is a real problem. Fast forward to 2022. The domestic air traffic is resuming to post-pandemic levels. But what has happened in the last 2 years? A lot of senior pilots have taken premature retirement. New students who were supposed to join the industries have not done so in the same numbers as they should have, obviously owing to the fear of their future, what is going to happen to them, are there going to be enough jobs or not. So all in all, the number of pilots that we have today are not going to be sufficient, and the same pilot shortage which existed in 2019 is going to become more severe and haunt us in the next couple of years, as soon as the traffic becomes 100% of what it was in 2019. The government has identified that more than half of the Indian pilot aspirants train abroad in foreign flying clubs. The government is doing whatever it can to stop the loss of revenue to foreign FTOs by subsidizing land at airports for flying club by over 90% concession, and the initiative of double the CPL program to promote new flying clubs to come up. But this is not going to be enough. A country like USA has over 1400 flight schools, and guess what? India has just over 30. However, it is not just the number of flight schools. The problem is multifold. Barring a few flying clubs, Indian flying clubs have a poor safety record, and they do lack in quality of training when compared to the top flight schools in the world. And on top of that, training in India is more expensive than getting trained abroad. Also, whereas in a country like the United States, a student finishes the entire training within a period of 8 to 10 months, in India, the training period can vary between 1.5 years up to, in worst case scenarios, 4 or even 5 years. In a nutshell, pilot shortage is real and it is going to get worse. The factors are fourfold: cost of training, quality of training, time of completion of training, and of course safety. My name is Abhinav Singh and I am a veteran pilot from the Indian Air Force with combined military and civil aviation experience of over 15 years. Most of my flying experience was gathered in Siachen Glacier while serving in a unit which holds the Guinness Book of World Record and many other records for operating in the highest battleground and the highest helipads in the world. The experience allowed me to plan and execute flying operations as efficiently and safely as possible with zero room for error. After my stint in the Indian Air Force, I worked in the Indian aviation training sector for a couple of years before founding Hercules Aviation Training School in the year 2019. While I was imparting instructions at one of the flying clubs, I met Vibhor. Vibhor Goel is an IIT alumni, a serial entrepreneur who co-founded Baba Jobs and sold it to Quicker. He also co-founded CoCubes and sold it to Aeon. Thereafter is now working on his latest startup, One Bank, which is a neo-banking platform. He also co-authored How to Build a Company, one of the Amazon bestsellers. He is a mentor and early stage investor in our company and guides us on various matters of strategy and finance. We also have Air Commodore R.V. Kumar in our team, who comes with an experience of over 5 decades in the aviation sector. He was a qualified flying instructor in the Indian Air Force. He trained pilots across the world and he was instrumental in setting up 3 flying schools across the world from scratch. We have more than dedicated team of 20 individuals, including pilots, engineers and administrators. Hercules Aviation Training School, or HATS, was founded in 2019. We introduced the first integrated pilot training program in India, wherein we partnered up with a US-based firm and we trained students in Canada and offered them job across the world. The students actually got the offer letter before starting their training. So we used to shortlist the students based on psychometric analysis and aptitude test, followed by multiple rounds of interview, and then take handful of students and make sure that their training translates into a successful career. The same program, which is also our flagship course, is what we are replicating in India. After we founded our company in 2019, we interacted with over 200 schools, counseled their students. During the peak of the pandemic in June 2020, we raised our first round of funds through bootstrap money and started our journey towards becoming a